That's a lot of cranes, and it's actually spring here in Sweden, but it's still very cold outside. Just look right behind me. It's a lot of ice still in the base, snow on land, and we have had a really cold night. And today I'm going pike fishing, and to be successful you gotta use some slow teasing, slow moving lures. And I think that when the water starts to warm up around midday, we're really gonna catch them. So let's try and see if we can get any pike. Oh, the first one. It was not that big, but it's always very, very nice to catch one of the first pikes of the season. So let's have a look at this little pike and see what gender it is. And this is actually a male, and this little pike, it was standing right in the reeds just beside me. And the males, they're the first one to appear at the spawning base, so maybe we should try a little bit further out. Maybe the females aren't here yet, so let's put this little fellow back and go for a big one. Okay, I think we should leave this shallow sheltered bay. There was a few smaller jack pikes, just the furthest thing you could get into the bay. And the bait that I caught all the fish on was this. This is a small shad soft bait, and I rig it like with an offset hook. And it's a very good bait to throw when you're searching for the pike, especially in springtime. Because most of the time you tend to fish areas that look like this. It's a lot of reeds, and the reeds, they stand everywhere in the water. So if you use an ordinary treble hook, it's very easy to get hooked up in all of the old vegetation. And therefore I think these kind of smaller shads, they are great for searching for the pikes. But as I said, I felt they were a little bit too small in there. So let's try to get out a little deeper and see if we can find any bigger ones. In this little lake that I'm fishing today, it's still very early. You can see there's still some ice cover, but it's very thin ice now. And over here it's a small canal that leads to a bigger lake, and often a lot of pike and roach and sanders and perch, all sort of fishes, they tend to migrate from the deeper, clearer lake to spawn in this smaller, more turbid lake, which warms faster in spring. But maybe all the pikes haven't arrived here yet this spring. I don't know really. So I'm gonna try where the canal enters this little lake. Oh, super pike, super pike. What a strike. This is a big fish. Huh. on the Pulse Realistic Roach. What a big head, great colors. Oh, it's perfectly hooked. It's hooked in the pallet. Let's see if we can get it. What a hard strike. Just look at this one. 15 grams lead head and a very realistic soft bait. A very realistic soft bait. What a nice fish. It was a little bit deeper water. I used the jig with the lead head, and let's put her back. Probably there's more here. I went further up into this clear lake, but you can see there's ice cover pretty much everywhere in all the shallow bays. And I got one very nice fish just when I entered this clear lake. Perhaps that was a fish that was going to migrate down into the smaller turbid lake, I don't know. But after that fish, nothing really happened, and now I'm sheltered from the wind. But it has been very windy up here as well, which makes fishing very hard. I'm gonna give this spot a few more casts, and then I'm gonna head down and see if maybe the water is a little bit warmer now in the shallow lake, and maybe the pike become more active. I don't know when this happened, but you can see that there's plenty of bite marks in the tail of this little hollow belly. And when this happens, the bait don't swim as well. You must reel it pretty fast to get the nice wobbling action of the body. So when this happens, it's time to change baits. So let's put on a new fresh hollow belly. I like baits with a little color when it's cold water, but now there's a little bit stained water, and there's also very cold outside, so I'll go with this speckled green one. Just take the screw and put it in the nose of the hollow belly and screw the bait, and then you're gonna measure where the hook is going to come through the body, and then I just tend to slide the bait on the hook a few times so it will slide more easily when a pike finally strikes. And now we're ready, and we can go for another pike. Okay, it's bone chilling cold out here, and I think we should call it a day. It was some really tough fishing, you know. I had a few nibbles, I caught a few. I got the nice pike when we went out into that deeper clear lake. It seems that the pike, they're not that active yet, but it's not that strange because it's so cold. But it's always nice to start off the season with some pikes and some pike fishing. So when you're going to swing for the pikes in this spring, I think you should try some of the tactics that I used today, such as the hollow belly offset when you go close to the reeds, or with like this roach jig that I used with a lead head if you're going to catch the pike a little bit deeper. So long guys, I hope I see you on the water.